Hello everyone. In today's lesson, we're going to go through different tasks that will help you plan and then write an essay. I know that you have all written essays before, so that's a good start. But the essay you're going to see today is a little bit different from the essays you're used to writing. And why do I say that? You'll see that in the video. Okay, so first of all, for this lesson, you will need to have with you the pages that will appear on the screen right now. These are 2 pages from the student's book that you have, and you will find those in the Unit 6 file. So what we're going to see today is basically the following. Number 1, we're going to have a look at the structure of an essay and including paragraph organization into introduction, body and conclusion, and different hooks or things that will attract the audience who's going to read your essay. Second of all, we're going to work on the purpose of the essay. Why? Why do I write this? What's my objective with this essay? Am I going to give arguments in favor of something? I'm going to give arguments against something. Am I trying to convince someone else of my point of view? So we're going to see that. Then we're going to talk about this audience in more detail, who's going to read this essay, so that depending on who is going to read is the language and the focus we will give to our essay. And finally, we're going to see some tips for revision. So how can I revise that my essay is clear, that it has unity and coherence? So we're going to look at different questions you can ask your essay before you hand it. All right? So this is the first task that we have. It says, work in pairs and discuss the quote. What do you think Einstein meant by this? Can you think of any examples? So instead of doing this in pairs, I'm going to post this quote on our classroom group, and I would like you to leave a comment there. So this is the first task that you will have to do, all right? I'm going to read the quote, but I'm going to leave it in our classroom group. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Now let's move to the next activity. It says, read the writing task. What is the purpose of the essay? Who will read it? If you look at the image, you can maybe start predicting that it will deal with something connected to expressing yourself, art, manual labor, something like that. All right? So let's read the writing task together. It says, you have listened to a radio discussion on the benefits of teaching the arts to all in education. You have made the following notes. Benefits of teaching the arts. Offers a wider education. Opportunity to express issues, for example, through drama. It's inclusive. All can excel. And then you have collected some opinions. Some opinions expressed in the discussion. You can bring insights and creativity to your main subjects. Being someone else allows you to experience other emotions safely. It lets those who are not good at academic subjects do something well. You may make use of the opinions expressed in the discussion, but you should use your own words as far as possible. Write an essay for your teacher discussing 2 of the benefits in your notes. You should explain which benefit of teaching the arts is most important, giving reasons to support your opinion. So this is the whole writing task, all right? So you've got teaching the arts, the benefits of teaching the arts, some opinions that someone has expressed, and the audience of your essay, all right? So what is the purpose of the essay? Who will read it? That's right. the purpose of the essay is to discuss two benefits of teaching the arts and explain which is the most important benefit. The teacher will read it. So, if you remember the task, you had 3 benefits of teaching the arts, but you only need to concentrate on 2, right? And then it says write an essay for your teacher. So you've got all the information you need for those questions here. All right? This is the first thing you need to do always. Read the writing task and identify the purpose, the objective of your essay, and then who will read it. Because these 2 details will determine the type of essay you're going to write and the language you're going to use. In the next activity, it says that you have to work in pairs. Read the essay and discuss the questions in the table. So you have 3 categories: content, communicative achievement, and organization. For content, which points from the task does the essay include? Does the writer give their own opinion? If so, in which part of the essay? Is the essay formal? Why? What features help organize the information in the essay? So let's read this essay together. Today, there is increasing debate about how far the arts and arts subjects should be taught in schools. Whilst there is increasing pressure to teach subjects that will lead directly to jobs, many educators argue that the arts are an important part of development and should always be included in education programs. There are several benefits to including an arts education, but 2 of the most important ones are the need to give students the broadest education possible and also to ensure that students who are perhaps not so academic have the opportunity to be successful in certain areas. The first of these is crucial because students do not leave school simply knowing about the subjects they will use in their job. There is compelling evidence that if we are to compete internationally, we need to have a wide understanding of different subjects, and it is worth noting that the arts might help us understand our core subjects. The second benefit mentioned above is crucial if we are to have inclusive education systems. Not everyone can be good at learning academic subjects, and some students find their feet in expressing themselves through music, painting, or drama, along with other broader arts subjects. Unsurprisingly, it is often the case that these students excel in the arts and they should be given an opportunity to do so. Undoubtedly, the most critical benefit is that of giving everyone a wider education across all subjects. It is important to realize that this is the only way to foster creativity, which is a critical part of academic and business success. Before we move on to the questions, I would like to go over this essay with you and spot some interesting things that at least I can observe in this essay and that I think could be very, very useful for you to apply. So let's see. In the first paragraph is the introduction, right? So your essays shouldn't go directly to the point. They should first introduce the topic. And this topic is teaching arts in education, right? So today there is increasing debate about how far the arts and art subjects should be taught in schools. Whilst, and we have this connector here, whilst is a formal version of the word while, right? So when you write a more formal essay, instead of using the connector while, you can use whilst. So that's a very easy trick, let's say, that you can start using in your essays. Then the second thing that I would like to mention is that this person is already, by introducing this sentence, explaining that there are many, many benefits for including arts in schools, but is telling the reader that he or she will concentrate on the 2 most important ones. So what does this do? When you're writing an essay, you have to imagine that you're trying to lead someone or guide someone along your train of thought. So, what you're thinking right now is that, of course, there are many benefits, but today in this essay, I'm just going to briefly discuss two. This is a very good strategy that you can apply when you write your own, all right? Once you finish with this idea, this is your topic sentence, this is the topic of your paragraph, all right? This person moves on to the first of these, and this person could have written the first benefit, for example, but so as not to repeat, and this is something that happens very frequently, that students tend to repeat vocabulary, you can use other strategies so that you don't repeat. In this case, benefits being a plural word and the word that you need here, instead of writing the first benefit, this person writes the first of these, and everyone understands that you're talking about the benefits, okay? Then instead of using words like important, I'm going to change the highlighter color now, I have the word important here, crucial, so you can see that this person uses synonyms, and so this is another strategy, and this is something that you could do in your essays so that you don't repeat the same vocabulary. So, in this paragraph, the person introduces the main point. This person says that there are two important benefits and discusses only the first one. In the next paragraph, this person introduces the second benefit. Once again, instead of using words like important or crucial again, this person uses the word critical, so you have another synonym there. And this person moves on to discuss the second point. One thing that is important is that in both points, this person gives an example. So for the first one, for the first of the points, this person says there is compelling evidence that if we do this, this and that, then this and this might happen. So this is an example that takes your point to the everyday world. And the same happens in this point. It says not everyone can be good at learning academic subjects, and some students, this is the example, some students find their feet expressing themselves through music, painting, or drama, along with other broader art subjects. So this is the example to support your point. And finally, we have the conclusion. We begin with this word, undoubtedly. What do the words unsurprisingly and undoubtedly do? They try to show that this writer is absolutely sure that what he or she is saying is correct. This is a strategy to hook your reader into thinking the same way he or she does. So this is something that you could do as well. Concluding paragraph. Undoubtedly, the most critical benefit is that of giving everyone a wider education. So what this person is doing is summarizing his main point, that by including arts, you're giving everyone the same opportunities. Now, the word important here is repeated, but that it's very far away in the text. So if you're going to repeat a word, make sure that there's a long distance between them. So if we have a look at the essay again, short 2-sentence long introduction, medium length paragraph with 3 sentences, the first being quite long, a third paragraph to discuss the second point with 3 sentences again, and then a final paragraph with 2 sentences. So if we manage this with sentence length, we could say that a good introduction or an adequate introduction will have 2 sentences. Then for the discussion of the first point, you will need 3 sentences. 3 sentences for the discussion of the second point, and then 2 sentences to conclude. All right? So maybe you can use this maths to help you. Which points from the task does the essay include? Let's have a look at the task again. Offers a wider education, opportunity to express issues, or inclusive, all can excel. Which of these are used? Offers a wider education, inclusive, all can excel. So if we look at the task again, the first one and the last one. Does the writer give their own opinion? If so, in which part of the essay? Yes, when selecting the most important point and also giving reasons why the benefits are important. If you think about it, an essay is an opinion essay. You're always giving your opinion in an essay. You're always taking a viewpoint. Then as regards the communicative achievement, is the essay formal? What do you think? Yes, it is formal. It needs to be, because it's academic, because the teacher will read it. If this were an essay for a magazine, it would probably be informal, but it's for a teacher, so it needs to be academic. And what about organization? What features help organize the information in the essay? What do you think? Yes, there are paragraphs for each point of the essay, so this is good for organization. And then ideas are connected with linking phrases, or what we normally call connectors. Also, adverbs help a lot. They are used in a way to connect some of the ideas in this particular essay. All right, so let's move on. I strongly advise that you take a look at the exam tip in the book. We're not going to do that now, so I'm just going to pass on to the next one. And the next activity is to help you with linking phrases. I know that one of the main problems that students may have when writing is the use of connectors. Maybe you don't know which ones to choose or if the ones you're using are correctly used. So we're going to see some that may help you with this essay in particular. It says match the linking phrases in bold in the sentences, and we've got the sentences here, with the uses A to F. And I'm going to show you the uses now. So which one introduces an idea or piece of information? Which one explains an action? Which one links a reason and a consequence? Which one gives a cause for introducing an idea or action? Which one links one piece of information with a second or a third piece? And which one compares one example of something with another? So, take a few minutes to solve this on the page and then come back to the video, and I'm going to give you the answers. So pause now, because the next time I speak, I'm just going to give you the answers. All right, so let's see. In light of this problem, we had better change our plans. And that is C. Links a reason and a consequence. What is equally important is a student's skill and commitment. Which one do you think it is? It's E. Links one piece of information with a second or third piece. The first thing to remember is why we're doing this project. It's A. Introduces an idea or piece of information. What about 4? With this in mind, we decided to create a drama group. Which use could it be? It's use B. Explains an action. So saying why you do something. By the same token, we have also had very good results in the science subjects. That's F. Compares one example of something with another. By the same token, token is like a synonym of the word example. For this reason, the 8th grade want to continue studying art, and that's finally D, gives a cause for introducing an idea or action. Okay. If you have any questions about these connectors, try and write your own sentences, and then when you write the essay, try to use them in the essay to see if you can use them correctly. All right? Let's move on. Now we're going to explore some language that appeared in the essay that you read with me and see how that can help us with your essays. Read the essay from exercise 3 again and discuss these points. Identify the adverbs. I have mentioned something about this. What do they tell you about the writer's attitude? And I have also said something about this. And then, for each of these adverbs, think of 3 more with a similar meaning. So, I'm going to give you a minute now to review the essay, all right? And the next time I speak again, I'm just going to give you the answers. So you should pause now to do number 1 and 2. And then when you come back, I'm going to give you the answers, all right? Okay, so let's see. Identify the adverbs. The adverbs are unsurprisingly and undoubtedly. And they tell us how sure the writer feels about something. And this is good. This is a good use of adverbs, because what you really want to do in your essay is to show that what you think is true for you, and you have no doubt that that is the way things are or should be. So it hooks you, it hooks the reader, and it's a good use of adverbs. So I highly recommend that you do use these same ones or other ones, right? So let's see question 2. For each of these adverbs, think of 3 more with a similar meaning. So we have critically, essentially, surprisingly, and undoubtedly. Do you know any words that have a similar meaning to critically, essentially, surprisingly, and undoubtedly? I'm going to give you some, all right? So critically could be significantly, crucially, importantly. You can also use them as synonyms for the adjective version. So the adjective would be critical, and so you can say critical, significant, crucial, important. Essentially. Essentially, fundamentally, basically, or in essence. What about C, surprisingly? We have amazingly, shockingly, and remarkably. These are 3 adverbs with similar meanings, and you can also say that something is surprising, amazing, shocking, or remarkable. And then undoubtedly, you can say undeniably, absolutely, and unquestionably. So as you can see, all these adverbs come from their corresponding adjectives, and you can use them as synonyms when you use the adjective and also when you use the adverb. So you have multiplied all these words. Now you have to read the writing task and decide which details you need to write about. So let's see the writing task. It says, you have had a class discussion on the benefits of teaching practical skills at school. You have made the notes below. Benefits of teaching practical life skills, needed as soon as they leave school, opportunity to learn early, allow focus on work or study. Some opinions expressed in the discussion. Everyone needs to know how to manage their money and time if they want to be successful. It's not always easy to learn people skills outside of school. If you can do things like cook and handle emergencies, then you don't need to worry. You can concentrate on studying or work. Write an essay for your teacher discussing 2 of the benefits in your notes. You should explain which is the most important benefit of teaching practical life skills at school, providing reasons to support your opinion. You may make use of the opinions expressed in the discussion, but you should use your own words as far as possible. What details do you need to write about? The essay needs to include 2 of the benefits of teaching practical life skills with reasons. So that's the summary of the task. Before you actually write your essay, you need to follow these 6 steps. First of all, decide which 2 points in the benefits you want to refer to. Now, how will you choose? I would concentrate on the ones that I believe I have something to say about. The second step, think of the reasons why you support these points. Remember that you can use the notes in the task, but in your own words. So, if you want to use the notes on the discussion, you can, but remember that you cannot copy them. You have to express them in your own words. 3. Decide which is the most important benefit and make notes of why. So if you had to choose, which one would it be and why? There's always a why. You always need to have a why in mind. Think about a general introduction to the topic. Why is it interesting or important? Remember that the introduction to your essay is what will catch your reader's attention the first time. So you need to make your topic interesting for your reader. The next step, 5. Think about what your conclusion will say. Your argument needs to be persuasive. So this is what we said when we talked about the hook, right? So you need to show your reader that that conclusion is the best possible conclusion for your arguments. And then 6 says work in pairs and check your ideas. It is usually a good thing to show your essay to someone else before you finish it, so that that person can give you an objective opinion before you finalize your essay. I highly recommend you do that. Now it says, write your essay in 220, 260 words. Remember to use linking phrases and attitude words. All right? So once you write your essay, there are certain things that you need to check before you actually hand in. You have to check the content, the communicative achievement, the language, and the organization. So let's see what you can do to check for these things. Did you choose 2 reasons from the benefits? Did you choose 1? Did you choose 3? Because you have to choose 2. So make sure that you have the 2. Did you explain why you think these points are important? Or did you just mention them? Because if you only mention them, there's something missing. Remember that there's always a why involved. Did you clearly state which one you think was important and why? Or is it just that you mentioned it in passing and so it's not very clear that you think that's the most important one? So you need to be absolutely sure that it's clear for your reader that that's the one. As regards communicative achievement, did you use formal language? Remember that this is an essay that your teacher will read, so it needs to be academic. So check for formal language. Which indications do we have that the language we have used is informal? Contractions, that's the first one that comes to mind. So don't use contractions, don't use words like don't or isn't or wouldn't. Use do not, is not, would not. So don't use contractions. Then try to use the formal versions of some words. So if you're going to use the word while, instead of using while, use whilst, for example. So you can check with the dictionary if some words have a more formal variation. As regards language, did you sometimes use adverbs to show your attitude? So remember that we have seen that adverbs are very important for essays, so make sure that you use some adverbs that really show what you think, because it is through these adverbs that we will see your attitude in your essay. So use them, make use of them. I'm not saying that you need to use 10 adverbs in your essay, but use 3, 2, 4 even if you want, that show that this is it, this is what you think, this is your attitude in your essay. And then organization. Did you use a range of linking phrases, for example? Did you use connectors, or did you just include separate sentences without linking ideas, or even linking paragraphs? Also, as regards organization, it's not here on this checklist, but have I divided my text into paragraphs? Do I have 4 paragraphs. That's the aim, all right? 4 paragraphs. One for an introduction, another one for my first point, then another one for the second point, and a final paragraph that gives me my conclusion. So if we revise, remember that we need mainly 2 sentences for the first paragraph, 3 sentences for the second, 3 for the third, and 2 for the final paragraph. So those are the numbers that you want to have in mind when you check that your organization is done. Okay? So let's do a final activity that is, this activity is also in the book, but we're not going to use the pages. We're just going to do it to do this activity together here to check the overall understanding of this lesson. So are these statements about writing an essay true or false? Number 1, you must include all points in the task. Is that true or false? What do you think? You should be saying that it's false. Why? If you do include all points, you will lose marks. Yeah, definitely, because the task is very clear. You only need to use 2 of the points, not all of them. Your essay is written to give information to people of your age group. Is that true or false? That is false. We have just said that the essay is written usually for your teacher, so it's not informal and it's not to give information to people your own age. Good. 3, you will give your opinion in certain points in the essay. Is that true or false? Yeah, that is true. The essay requires giving your opinion and supporting it with reasons. So there are points in the essay when your opinion will have to be very, very clear. How do we do that? Through your examples and through the use of adverbs. Remember that. 4, your essay will usually have 4 paragraphs. You should get this one right. Yes, that's true. That's what I said. I've been saying it and I've repeated it many, many times. Introduction, 1 paragraph for each of the 2 points, and their conclusion. Good. You can quote the opinions included in the task. Is this true? No, that's false. Do not quote directly. You need to use your own words. You can use the information in the opinions, but you can not use the exact words in the opinions. And finally, you need to add 1 more point of your own. Is this true? No, this is not true. Adding 1 more point is at the first certificate level, remember? Remember when you wrote essays for the first certificate? You were given 2 ideas and you had to think of a 3rd one of your own. Well, in a way, writing an essay in the advanced level is at the same time easier and more difficult. Why is it easier? Because all the information that you need is given to you. Why is it more difficult? Because your language needs to be more precise, your essay needs to be formal, and you need to have a better use of vocabulary, especially adverbs and linking phrases. So that's why it's a little bit more difficult. That is all. What you will have to do now is write your essay in 220 to 160 words. Remember to use linking phrases and attitude words when you write. And the idea is that you upload your essay in the assignment that I have created for this lesson. And I'm going to read that essay and give you feedback. And then on that feedback, you're going to have to hand in your final version of the essay. So the version that you hand in for this assignment is not the last version of your essay, because writing is a process, and it is not correct to think that someone can create a piece of writing all at once and get it right. So the idea is that we go back and forth with your essay until we are both happy that that's the final product. All right? So that would be all. I wish you happy writing, and I really hope to see you soon. Bye!